2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Friday the 23rd of September, and it's Redhead Appreciation Day. And a big happy birthday to Carl Pilkington, Julio Iglesias, Anthony Mackie and Bruce Springsteen. The Bank of England raised interest rates to 2.25% on Thursday, their highest level in 14 years, as they announced the UK is already in a recession. It comes as new Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng prepares to deliver an emergency mini-budget on Friday, when he's expected to announce around £30 billion of tax cuts to tackle the soaring cost of living. But Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davey hasn't been impressed by the government's response and thinks that new Prime Minister Liz Truss's proposals just won't work.
She's putting forward a very ideological right-wing approach, which says that if you give lots of money to the wealthiest, it will trickle down to everyone else. That type of trickle-down economics has been tried before and it's failed.
Not to worry though, Business Secretary Jacob Rees-Mogg has a solution. Man-made fracking. It's a technique used to extract shale gas from rocks and was banned in England in 2019 due to concerns around earth tremors. But that ban was lifted on Thursday to try and combat energy costs. Former Labour leader and Shadow Climate Secretary Ed Miliband wasn't having any of it.
Let me tell the party opposite, we will hang this broken promise round their necks in every part of the country between now and the next general election.
But Jacob Rees-Mogg was quick to hit back at critics, making a rather bizarre accusation.
I'm well aware that there have been objections to fracking, but I would also note that there have been stories widely reported that some of the opposition to fracking has been funded by Mr. Putin's regime.
After months of rows around the increase in national insurance, Chancellor Kwasi Kwarteng announced on Thursday that the planned rise is set to be scrapped from November. The 1.25% rise was introduced in April by then-Chancellor Rishi Sunak to help the NHS recover from the pandemic, but new PM Liz Truss pledged to reverse it during the Tory leadership race. A planned health and social care levy set to take effect next April was also axed, although Kwasi promised that funding for social care services wouldn't be affected. Meanwhile, Health Secretary Therese Coffey ploughed on with her plans for the NHS, which includes getting more doctors into work and setting a 2-week target for GP appointment wait times. And she certainly seems to have a lot of confidence.
Well, I think one of the things that we'll be doing is removing some of the reasons that doctors have told us why they have stopped working, and indeed extending some of the measures that we had during COVID in order to bring people back into the NHS to help with this national endeavour.
But Shadow Health Secretary Wes Streeting wasn't quite as optimistic.
I'm afraid after 12 years, asking the Conservative Party to solve the NHS crisis is a bit like asking the arsonist to put out the fire they created. It's just not going to happen.
Liz Truss has been busy in New York, meeting Joe Biden face-to-face and discussing the Northern Ireland Protocol. She also addressed the UN General Assembly with a speech criticising Russian President Vladimir Putin's recent threats and reiterating Britain's commitment to Ukraine.
I pledge that we will sustain or increase our military support to Ukraine for as long as it takes. New UK weapons are arriving in Ukraine as I speak.
Meanwhile, the UN Secretary Council met on Thursday to call for accountability over the alleged atrocities and war crimes committed by Russian forces against Ukraine. This is the Chief Prosecutor for the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, addressing that council.
One has seen a variety of destruction, of suffering and harm that fortifies my determination and my previous finding that there are reasonable grounds to believe that crimes within the jurisdiction of the court have been committed.
First, there was nothing there, then they'd been planted by the FBI, but Thursday saw former US President Donald Trump come up with perhaps his best excuse yet for the presence of highly classified government documents found in his Mar-a-Lago property last month. He's currently facing a US Justice Department investigation over allegations he improperly removed the documents from the White House, but he claims the materials had already been declassified, possibly through telepathy.
If you're the President of the United States, you can declassify just by saying it's declassified, even by thinking about it, because you're sending it to Mar-a-Lago or to wherever you're sending it. And there doesn't have to be a process.
Still to come on the Smart 7, England take on the European champions in the Nations League, and John Boyega takes Harrison Ford out for dinner. Right after this. Welcome back. The Nations League continued on Thursday when Wales lost 2-1 to Belgium, risking relegation after their defeat by the number 2 ranked team in the world. England are set to face the defending European champions Italy on Friday evening, where they'll be hoping to gain a vital 3 points. Manager Gareth Southgate's side are currently sitting bottom of their group and need at least a draw to avoid automatic relegation to League B for the first time. The poor showings led to accusations that Southgate's too cautious, but Man City and England's Jack Grealish is backing him.
I think we have great talent all over the pitch, whether that be, at fullbacks or centre midfield or even us wide players. I generally don't think that he is too negative or cautious at all.
John Boyega made an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel this week to promote his latest film, The Woman King, but it was his relationship with Star Wars co-star Harrison Ford which was the main talking point. Apparently the pair snuck off set for a dinner date where John introduced Harrison to Nigerian food, and it must have been good because the Indiana Jones actor was out for the count on the journey home. Here's John explaining how things went down.
I think I had answered him back, and it was kind of like that trial by fire, like, yeah, you're one of the good ones. It was that kind of feel. And then I asked him to go to dinner because he had been talking about eating chicken breast and salad because he was training for Star Wars at the time. So I go, let me take you to a local spot and let's just go for dinner after set.
Everyone's favourite Irish talk show host is back. Following a 6-month hiatus, the Graham Norton show will make its return to the BBC at the end of the month, with appearances from stars such as Jamie Lee Curtis, Rami Malek and Lydia West. The man himself sat down on the One Show sofa this week to tease the latest season and confirmed the return of perhaps the show's most beloved cast member.
The sofa is back. It's the return of the sofa.
So you were in chairs, but now you're back to
we were
everybody
in
sharing the
chairs
sofa.
very, very far away, and now we're back in the sofa and with a full audience. So it's everything's old is new again. Yeah. We're really looking forward to it.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.